Have you ever thought about what you'd do if you were having a heart attack and no one else was around? It's a frightening thought. But for many people, it's also a very real one. The truth is, heart attacks don't always wait until you're with someone. And in those first few minutes, what you do, or don't do, can make all the difference. Most of us believe we'll have time. Time to call for help. Time for someone to find us. But a heart attack can strike fast, and when you're alone, knowing what to do could save your life. The good news is, you don't need to be a doctor. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need to be prepared and stay calm. In this video, we're going to show you 7 critical things you must do if you ever feel the signs of a heart attack while you're alone. These steps are simple, practical, and possibly life-saving. We'll walk through how to recognize the early warning signs, even the quiet ones. What to take immediately. How to ease the strain on your heart. And small actions that can buy you precious minutes, just enough to get the help you need. Stay with us until the end, because the final steps are the ones most people forget, but they might be the ones that save your life. Step 1. Recognize the warning signs. The first step to surviving a heart attack alone is knowing when it's happening. It doesn't always feel like it does in the movies. Not everyone experiences sudden, crushing chest pain. In fact, the early signs are often much quieter and easier to ignore. You might feel a tightness or pressure in the center of your chest. Discomfort that comes and goes. Pain spreading to your shoulders, arms, neck, jaw, or back. Shortness of breath. Cold sweat, nausea, or lightheadedness. If you feel even a few of these symptoms, do not wait. Your body is trying to warn you, and your best chance is to act fast. It might feel like something is sitting on you, or like your chest is slowly being filled with cement. It could also come and go, making you think it's nothing serious. But if it lasts more than a few minutes or keeps returning, don't second guess it. Other early signs include shortness of breath, even without chest pain. You might feel like you just walked up a hill, even if you're sitting still. Some people feel pain in the arm, shoulder, neck, or jaw. Others get lightheaded, break out in a cold sweat, or feel nauseated and dizzy. And in some cases, especially for older adults or women, the pain may feel more like pressure in the back or stomach than anything in the chest. Let's take an example. Richard, 74, was sitting at his kitchen table when he felt a strange tightness under his collarbone, almost like heartburn. But then he noticed he couldn't take a full breath, and his hands began to sweat. He remembered reading that not all heart attacks start with pain. So instead of brushing it off, he acted. That decision may have saved his life. The body often whispers before it screams. And when it comes to heart attacks, those whispers are your only chance to take action before the damage begins. If you wait for the classic chest-clutching drama, you may already be too late. So the next time something feels off, and especially if it's a combination of pressure, shortness of breath, or unusual fatigue, stop what you're doing. Don't try to tough it out. Don't tell yourself it's just indigestion. Recognizing the warning signs is your first shot at survival. Treat them seriously, even if they seem small. Your life might depend on it. Number 2. Calling emergency services immediately. Once you suspect that a heart attack may be starting, the very next thing you must do, without hesitation, is call 911. Do not wait to see if the symptoms go away. Do not try to drive yourself. And do not assume that you're overreacting. Calling emergency services is not only the fastest way to get help, it's the most effective thing you can do to stay alive. A heart attack isn't something you walk off. Every minute matters. The longer your heart muscle is starved of oxygen, the greater the damage. But when you call 911, trained professionals are already preparing as they drive toward you. They are bringing equipment, medication, and the ability to keep you alive if your heart stops on the way to the hospital. What's more, if your symptoms worsen quickly, which they often do, you won't be able to help yourself. That's why trying to drive is one of the most dangerous choices people make. You could lose consciousness, cause an accident, or delay your own care. Let the professionals come to you. Think about what happened to Linda, 78. She felt a strange ache in her left shoulder, followed by a wave of nausea and a cold sweat. She thought about calling her son, but then she remembered a nurse once telling her, "If you're alone and might be having a heart attack, call 911 first. Talk to your family later." She made the call. By the time the ambulance arrived, her symptoms had intensified, but the team was ready. They stabilized her on the spot. That phone call saved her life. You don't have to be sure you're having a heart attack to call for help. The dispatcher won't be upset if it turns out to be something else. In fact, they'd rather send help you didn't need than miss a chance to save your life. Keep your phone somewhere you can reach it easily, especially if you live alone. If you feel symptoms coming on and can't speak clearly, press the emergency call feature. Some phones have a shortcut to call for help even when locked. Learn where it is, and use it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, chewing an aspirin slowly and calmly. After calling emergency services, the next most powerful action you can take is simple: chew an aspirin. Not swallow, chew. And do it slowly, even if your hands are shaking. If you have access to a standard 325 mg aspirin, and you're not allergic or on a blood thinner that would contraindicate it, this one step can significantly increase your chance of surviving a heart attack. Aspirin works by thinning the blood. It helps slow or prevent the growth of a blood clot that may be blocking one of your coronary arteries, the very thing causing the heart attack in the first place. By chewing the tablet instead of swallowing it whole, you get it into your system faster. Studies have shown this can buy valuable minutes, sometimes even enough to restore some blood flow before help arrives. It's important not to take aspirin on an empty stomach unless absolutely necessary. But in the event of a heart attack, the risk of clotting far outweighs that concern. Also, don't take coated or delayed-release aspirin. If it's all you have, chew it anyway. You want the effects to start as quickly as possible. Let me tell you about Joe, age 72. One morning, he felt a tightness spreading from his chest to his neck. He remembered he had a bottle of aspirin in the kitchen cabinet. He chewed one while sitting down and waiting for the paramedics. Later, his cardiologist told him that single action likely reduced the damage to his heart muscle. That little pill, he said, kept things from getting worse. If you live alone, make sure aspirin is easy to access. Store some in a nightstand, your kitchen drawer, or even in your wallet. Make sure it hasn't expired, and tell your loved ones where you keep it in case they ever need to help you. This small act may seem too simple, but it's grounded in science and practiced by emergency responders around the world. Chewing aspirin during the onset of a heart attack isn't just a tip, it's a proven intervention. And in those critical first minutes, it can be the difference between walking out of the hospital, or never making it there at all. Number 4, sitting or lying down to protect your heart. Once you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next job is simple, but absolutely critical: stop moving. Sit or lie down in the safest, most comfortable position you can. This isn't the time to pace, gather belongings, or unlock doors, unless it's absolutely necessary. Any additional physical effort puts more strain on your heart, which is already struggling to get enough oxygen. Ideally, you want to sit with your back supported, feet flat, and arms resting loosely. This helps reduce your heart's workload while you wait for paramedics. If you feel faint or lightheaded, lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated. And don't try to power through the discomfort. That mindset might have served you well in other parts of life, but in this moment, it's a risk you can't afford. It's common for people to feel embarrassed, calling for help and then sitting there doing nothing. But make no mistake, doing nothing is doing something. It gives your heart a chance to stabilize. It slows your breathing. And it keeps your body from burning through its already limited oxygen supply. Take the story of Alice, 81. When she felt pressure radiating across her chest, her first instinct was to clean up the kitchen and get herself together. But she remembered what her doctor once said. If you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sank into her favorite recliner and waited for help. That stillness, she later learned, likely prevented her symptoms from escalating into full cardiac arrest. So, if you ever feel those symptoms creeping in, pressure, shortness of breath, dizziness, don't try to finish what you're doing. Stop right where you are, or move as little as possible to a safer spot. Sit or lie still, breathe slowly, and let your body focus on just one job: surviving. And here's something simple: but often overlooked. If you're on a chair without armrests, don't let your body slump. Keep your spine supported and your breathing open. The more relaxed and upright your position, the less effort your heart has to make. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Unlocking your door for emergency responders. If you still have enough strength after calling for help and settling down, one of the most helpful things you can do is unlock your front door. It may seem like a small step, but in an emergency, even seconds matter, and a locked door can delay treatment when time is everything. Paramedics are trained to break in if needed, of course. But forced entry adds time, causes damage, and might even startle or injure you if you're close to the entry point. Unlocking the door in advance lets them walk right in and begin care immediately. That simple act could save several minutes that your heart might not have. If you live alone, especially in an apartment or gated community, think through the logistics before a crisis ever happens. Is your door easy to open from the inside? Do you have a visible address? Is there a spare key someone close by can access? These are things that don't seem urgent, until they suddenly are. Consider Paul, 76, who lives in a small condo. When his symptoms began, he called 911, chewed an aspirin, and unlocked his door, all in under 2 minutes. The paramedics said that single action helped them reach him 30 seconds faster and saved them from having to break in. That's the last thing I would have thought of, he later said, but it might have been what got me help just in time. If walking to the door feels too risky, don't do it. Sit down and focus on your breathing. But if you're close to the door and feel steady enough to reach it safely, go ahead and unlock it. You might also consider a smart lock with remote access or a medical lockbox for your key, especially if you live alone or have mobility challenges. It's a small act of preparation, but it sends a message to the people coming to save you. You're ready. You've done your part. Now it's their turn to do the rest. Number 6. Using your phone speaker or medical ID features. If you're waiting alone during a heart attack, your phone becomes more than just a communication tool. It becomes your lifeline. And one of the smartest ways to use it in that moment is by switching to speakerphone. This allows you to talk to emergency responders hands-free, so you can focus on breathing and staying as calm as possible without needing to grip your phone tightly or hold it to your ear. When you're under distress, even the act of holding something to your ear can make it harder to breathe. Using speakerphone not only reduces physical strain but allows the dispatcher to hear you more clearly if you suddenly become too weak to talk. It also lets them listen for signs of your condition in the background, your breathing, your movements, even your tone. Beyond that, every smartphone now has something just as critical, your emergency medical ID. On an iPhone, it's accessible even from the lock screen. On Android phones, there's often a similar feature. It holds vital information like your age, allergies, medications, and medical conditions. If you're unconscious when paramedics arrive, this data can save time and guide decisions about your care. Take Susan, 79. She passed out just moments before help arrived. But because her phone had her medical ID set up, the paramedics knew immediately that she was diabetic and allergic to penicillin. That saved them from giving her something that could have made things worse, and they were able to call her daughter using the emergency contact listed right in the phone. Setting up this information takes less than 5 minutes, and it lasts forever. Include your name, birth date, any major conditions, medications you take, allergies, and 1 or 2 emergency contacts. It's not just for tech-savvy folks. It's for anyone who might one day need help when they can't speak for themselves. So, if you ever feel those first signs of a heart attack coming on, use your speakerphone. Stay connected and trust the person on the other end. Their calm voice, steady instructions, and constant presence can make the waiting less terrifying. And if something happens before help arrives, your phone might still speak for you when you no longer can. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 7. Slowing your breath to steady your heart. In the middle of a heart attack, it's easy to feel like panic is taking over. Your chest feels tight, your thoughts race, and every second seems louder than the last. But there's one final tool you still have, your breath. And if you use it well, it can calm your nervous system just enough to give your heart a better chance at holding steady. Controlled breathing isn't about curing the heart attack. It's about keeping your body from spinning into full-blown shock while help is on the way. The more anxious you become, the faster your heart may beat. But slowing your breath can gently pull that rhythm back down. You don't need a special technique. Just try this. Breathe in slowly through your nose for about 4 seconds. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do it again. Focus on that one small rhythm. It gives your body something steady to anchor to, and it can help prevent your heart from going into dangerous arrhythmias triggered by stress. Consider what happened to Frank, 83. When the pain hit, he felt like he was drowning in fear. But he remembered a simple breathing exercise his doctor had taught him during a checkup. He focused on each breath, kept himself still, and let go of the panic. By the time the paramedics arrived, his heart was still unstable, but not in full arrest. I just kept thinking, stay calm. Stay alive, he later said. You can practice this breathing anytime, when you're resting, when you're feeling anxious, even when you're watching TV. The more familiar it feels, the more instinctively your body will return to it when the stakes are high. Your breath won't fix your arteries, but it can buy you time. It can keep oxygen flowing and help your heart hold on. And sometimes, in those final moments before help arrives, that's the only edge you need. Stay still. Stay alive. At the end of the day, surviving a heart attack alone isn't just about luck. It's about preparation, awareness, and calm action. These 7 steps may seem simple on their own, but together they form a powerful chain that can save your life. Recognize the warning signs. Call for help immediately. Take aspirin if you can. Sit or lie down to conserve your strength. Make it easier for help to reach you. Use your phone's tools wisely. Slow your breathing to keep your heart steady. Each one of these measures buys you a little more time. Each one gives you a little more control. And each one says something important. Even when you're alone, you're not powerless. Heart attacks can feel like the most frightening kind of solitude. But these steps remind you that you're not truly helpless, not even for a second. You have tools. You have knowledge. And you now have a plan. So ask yourself, what stood out the most to you today? Was there a step you hadn't considered before, or one that you now see in a different light? Think about how you can apply this to your own life, and maybe even share it with someone you care about. It might not just save your life, it could save theirs, too. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.